After a few quite testing months in 2025, we finally come to a period of blessing, of ease and harmony. May 2025, I have good news for you. We went through Mars, Venus, Mercury retrograde, 2 eclipses, Saturn, Venus conjunctions, very intense influences in the last 3-4 months. But now we're gonna take a breath of fresh air and relief. As you can see, most of the transits and aspects between planets in May are harmonious, trines, sextiles. There are here and there a square, but it's very minimal compared to what we've been going through. We're like a soldier coming out of a battle. And we'll be in the month of May, we'll be recovering, recuperating, improving. Things will start looking up. We're out of the hardest period of 2025. So with this good news, we're gonna have a full moon in Scorpio with opposition with Uranus around the 12th of May, which might be a bit more excitable, unpredictable, intense, like the energy of Scorpio, but pretty much everything around it is fantastic. But the biggest event in May is that towards the end, on the 25th of May, Saturn is moving to Aries for the first time since 29 years, the 1995, 6, something like that it was then. In Aries again, and it will stay there for 3 months this year, and then 26 and 27, the whole 2 years it will be in Aries. So this video will focus on how Saturn, the bad big wolf of astrology, how you can tame it, how you can turn it into a loyal dog that will guard your back and to thrive through this period. So stay with me to see how Saturn will affect you. Actually, if you want to really dive into Saturn in Aries, I've created a 3-hour video plus around 40 pages PDF that covers absolutely every possible influence of Saturn in Aries. Say if you have Venus in Gemini, Saturn will try sextile it, or if you have Libra, Jupiter, Saturn will oppose it, or if you have Cancer, Moon, Saturn will square it. What are the influences on a personal level with many real life stories and remedies and how to overcome it and how to do the best out of it. Just $12. Check it out. I always try to be as affordable as possible. But now let's begin. I'm excited. Sun, Moon, or Rising, May 2025. Leo, Mars is finally in your sign, giving you energy, giving you drive, ambition, motivating you to move forward. Sometimes you might feel exactly when Mars is transiting your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant that you might be triggered somehow by your family, for example, because Mars rules your 4th house, or triggered by, I don't know, maybe for some fighting about what you believe. Mars rules your 9th house, but definitely Mars is doing a lot of good aspects from Leo this month. So it's not gonna be, it's more like I see that you just have more energy, more drive, you're more excitable, more get up and go, you're more courageous to go fix problems. This postponing is like you overcome postponing. If you felt dragged and bogged down with all that water energy in Pisces over the last 2-3 months. Oh my God, the emotional energy, the stagnant energy with Saturn there, it's all going away. The fire, and Mars was in Cancer as well in your 12th house. All those watery, super emotional, super psychological houses. Maybe you felt like, you want to move, but you have like chains on your legs, or you have to swim through jelly to do something. Well, now this is changing. The fire is coming into your life, the get up and go energy. Yes, Mars there in your sign can also make you a bit more susceptible to accidents, cuts, for the whole month at some point. Colds. I'm a Leo moon, so I'm already with a cold because these are inflammatory conditions, but it's more like the immune system gets activated stronger also when Mars is in your sign to fight it off. Fighting spirit is there, good for you. Maybe to do things with your family, to be more proactive with your family as well, because Mars rules the 4th house as well. And even to do some trips, Mars rules the 9th house. And Venus is in your 9th house the whole month after being retrograde, after being with Saturn. Light. The 9th house is lucky. The 1st house is lucky. Venus in your ninth house, you just can be luckier in love, can be just have more luck overall, to be at the right place at the right time, as well, to say like find the right sparking spots whenever you need it. So it's just kind of more alignment with those lucky energies of the ninth house, of in alignment with the universe. With the ninth house is divine will for you. What is the best for you? And you naturally aligning to it when Venus is there. And it's good time to travel with Venus in the ninth house if you want to visit some foreign countries, or to study if you want to take a course or a class, or uh, investigate matters related to spirituality, to astrology. Fantastic, any kind of classes, courses, even exams can go very smoothly with Venus in your ninth house this month. And positivity. And of course, the sun is in your 10th house, very visible. You see, Leo, everything, all planets are above the horizon for you. Everything, very visible month for Leo rising in particular. They're in the public eye, they're getting things done, everything is moving forward from the planets. Things are becoming easier, moving ahead. The sun there, new moon in your 10th house, new beginnings with your career, with your work projects, with your being more active in life as well, because 10th house is activity overall, not just career and bosses. Um, and but renewal day in this 10th house, ninth house of the luck, of learning as well, of good counsel from others, support and help. Even for love, it should be good. Venus, the planet of love, in the lucky ninth house. For culture, ninth house is the house of culture, of Venus, their art. If you're going to galleries, to museums, to social activities that are uplifting to the spirit, or doing any such things. Um, so good. There's fire around you. There is also visibility, and there is a full moon in your fourth house. There is focus there at home. Definitely towards the middle of the month. On the 12th is the full moon. Its influence is especially strong the first week. It might be a bit more stressful. That's from the 12th to the 18th of May, because there are a few. Only that's the only time with a few more stressful transits and aspects. There can be some, between career and home life around that time, some decisions that have to be made. There can be illumination of secrets connected to your past, to your childhood, to your parents, to your family, because it's Scorpio after all. There can be sudden surprises, developments in your personal home life because of Uranus opposing the full moon, and about your emotions, release of pent up emotions there. So we have a little bit more of water, but there's a lot of fire, so you don't drown on those in those emotions and so on. And the big event is that Saturn is gonna move into your ninth house, Leo, on the 25th of May. Will stay there till the 1st of September, and it will come back again next year, 2026. Pretty much the whole 2026 it will be in your ninth house, the whole 2027 in your ninth house, and part of 2028. So that will be a huge shift. Maybe you won't feel it immediately, but make this video, bookmark it, whatever it's called, make it, add it to favorites, so you can come to it in 26, 27. So you see how Saturn in the ninth house, what it wants for you. So you're not scared. So you know what are the manifestations. So you know that you're aligned, and that if those things are happening, yes, good. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. Or if it gets hard, what to do. But you get like a taste now for 3 months, Leos, what it is to have Saturn in the ninth house. Well, you see, Saturn is making a trine from the ninth house to you. So it's stabilizing energy. It can stabilize your life over the next 2-3 years. It will require work and efforts like Saturn is. If it's your moon in Leo, it can stabilize your place of living, home, situation. It can bring more duties and responsibilities there, but it will be anchoring, and it will be like clear where you live. Your emotional attachments can be more committed, more stable as well, even though you might have to take care more of family and personal life or loved ones. Or if it's your sun in Leo, you can have more responsibilities and duties connected to your uh, goals. The sun is goals. towards your mission in life. But again, it's angering. So if you change a job over the next 2-3 years, when Saturn trines your sun, and in my webinar on Saturn in Aries, which is 3 hours long and with a lot of written text to it, I explain to you exactly, say if you're 6 degrees Leo, how to find out what degree your sun is, and when exactly Saturn will affect you. Saturn will trine your sun, and that means really stabilizing your goals, your careers. If you have a mission or a dream of yours, which the sun rules, your mission, your vision for your life, Saturn can really make it, help you manifest it and materialize it, not in a disrupting way, because it's a trine. Trine is the most harmonious aspect. Just by giving you more determination, more support from the universe, more clarity about your vision for the future, because Saturn will be in your ninth house. Saturn making a trine from the ninth house. Ninth house is your vision for the future. Saturn there wants you to clarify it, to make it, if it's unrealistic, to see what is unrealistic about it. And there can be some auditing of your belief system. We all like, oh, I want to be a billionaire by 30. Well, if those visions for your life are unrealistic, Saturn, okay, maybe I want to make 100,000 by 30, per year, rather than be a billionaire. So kind of your vision for the future gets a reality check. This is what Saturn is over the next 2-3 years. And they can be a little bit of a down energy as well, because ninth house is your hope, your faith. Yes, I'll be a famous actress. Yes, I'll be, but sometimes it might be unrealistic. Oh, yes, I'll save the world, or whatever. Yes, I would levitate. And Saturn there comes and says, well, you need to follow the rules here. There are rules to follow, and then you can do it. Or maybe some of the things you dream are kind of like your future goals might not be realistic. So correction. Saturn is the auditor. Saturn is the one that wants to correct, to clean up any messes. So it will clean up messes connected, in your case, to your belief systems, the ones that are unrealistic. I remember when Saturn was transiting my ninth house, I was very much the previous years into the law of attraction. So I was like, I would desire it and it will come to me. And back then my partner appeared and says, it doesn't work this way. And he really burst my bubble. And he says, no, you have to work hard. So started meeting me with all his friends who did it from starting from the bottom. And they all had to study hard, work hard. So this burst a few belief systems I've been programmed with, that it comes just by wanting it very much or intention too much. And I thought, like, I don't want to work hard. Like, well, you have to. So some unrealistic belief systems will be rewired. They can be a little bit of an existential crisis sometimes when Saturn transits the ninth house, where like all the things I believed in, well, like my hope now is deflated, my faith is a bit deflated, but it will be like a reorientation process towards a more realistic faith or belief system, towards one that can really help you achieve your goals for your life rather than just waste your energy. And I also had a faith crisis in astrology. Then I was just starting, actually I started my business with Saturn in the ninth house transiting there, and I had a faith crisis there. And I'm like, is astrology real? I was testing it all the time. And the more I was testing it, the more real it was proving to be. And it transited, I discovered ninth house about learning as well. So I started studying traditional ancient astrology. So you might start studying something more traditional, because ninth house is higher education, knowledge. Ancient astrology for me it was. And I discovered my teacher. Ninth house is the teachers, the role models in your life. I discovered my teacher, Ernst Wilhelm, then. Very, very moral, very high level teacher. Some authority figure as a role model, as a teacher, you might discover over the next 2-3 years. And they might be demanding, and they might be a bit harsh, because Saturn in Aries is a bit harsh, is not so fair. But it's the teacher that needs to be in your life to instill moral codes, moral rules and rights. So I learned what the rules were when Saturn was transiting my ninth house. Ninth house rules law, Saturn rules the rules. So what are the rules for success in life? it doesn't mean you can't do manifestation. I was doing a lot of visualization and manifestation there, but coupled with realizing that I have to do the hard work. Ninth house is when Saturn is there, can be great time to start studying, to go or teaching. If you've been studying and have some considerable amount of knowledge, that can be when Saturn was transiting my ninth house from my sun, I started teaching astrology. Till then I was just, making videos, doing readings. When Saturn was transiting the ninth house from my ascendant, I found my teacher, the one that I'm most grateful, one of the ones I'm most grateful for. So you see, there is these themes about teaching, about learning, starting university degrees. You really have not to, you have to be very dedicated. With Saturn, you cannot just pass exams by miracle. It's truly by doing the hard efforts and learning. But Saturn can also give you the dedication in some field of knowledge or wisdom that I love that period. I mean, it was very hard mentally. I was a bit depressed because normal astrology was not working for me, but then I discovered traditional one. So it's a time you can really commit with passion and dedication towards some new knowledge, belief system, connection to higher knowledge of some sort. Also can be good, as I say, if you're a teacher or if you work in Saturn is work. So work connected to ninth house, either teaching, either import, export, foreign countries, that can be where you put a lot of efforts as well. But yeah, if you have something important to say to the world, do it when Saturn is in your ninth house. Find your voice to teach others. Saturn also rules your sixth house, so definitely can be work connected to foreign countries as well, or work or duties and responsibilities connected to teaching or to import export. Saturn also rules your seventh house. There can be travels to foreign countries because of partner. They can be solving some legal matters with partner together there, or it can be also about how else can it work out? Maybe pre-qualifying because of work, because ninth house is qualification, sixth house is work, pre-qualifying with some courses, classes because of work, sixth house. It can be also solving some legal matters. Now, that's the harder side. Ninth house, Saturn, the legal matters connected to something that's not fair, to some conflict, to some litigation. Sixth house rules litigation, conflict. And going in the ninth house, some of you might have to solve some legal matters there. You have to really follow the laws and the rules. Don't try to skip if you want the judges to be on your side. I'm not saying everyone who is Leo will have legal issues, of course. But with Saturn in the ninth house, the most important thing to learn is the more upright and moral you are, the better the rewards there are. Because otherwise, Saturn can really block your luck. Everyone has luck, this connection to God, this direct line to God, this kind of intuition, they call it, luck, the lucky house. And Saturn there, if you're, breaking the moral codes, you might be lying, you might be cheating, you might be lazy. That's another sin of, whatever, it's like slothfulness, fearfulness. It's kind of, if you're, especially the bad ones, or breaking the law in some way, there can be repercussions with Saturn in the ninth house. But if you're striving towards improving yourself, ninth house is the house of self-improvement, self-help books, self-improvement, moral, reading scriptures, going to church, it might be one of those things, going to more, you might see God as more punishing, karma, the belief of karma is very much Saturn in the ninth house, what you do to others happens to you. But if you try to align yourself to this higher spiritual and human moral rules and law rules, the more you align to those, the more wonderful results you can get from Saturn in the ninth house. As I stated, it's very stabilizing influence when it's making a trying to live overall. But if you break moral rules or human laws, now you pay for them. They can be more severe consequences. If you don't break, you win you can win in moral battles. You can win in some kind of a, you might fall into also some moral situation, because eighth house is morality. Maybe something, doing something that you start realizing you're doing something that's not moral, you shouldn't be doing, and having to make a choice to stop doing it. I remember I was in such a situation when Saturn was in the ninth house. I was really beating myself up for doing something that I knew was not right. I was not completely honest with someone, and I should have been, and that's when I was trying to solve this issue. And it shows you that if you don't use the moral qualities of honesty, whatever, you can make the situation much worse when Saturn is in the ninth house. So try to be as honest, as moral as possible, solve moral issues, and then you'll be rewarded fantastically, because it's, after all, Saturn in the ninth house is you can receive its karma, but for good actions and good choices as well, good karma. And also for some of you, if you're single, you can meet partners abroad, ruler of the seventh in the ninth there. So that's another, foreigners, or you can meet partners that are aligned to you, belief systems as well. So that's another way it can play out. So thank you so much, Leo. Only the first part of the video was for May. The rest is for the next 3 years. Remember, be as moral as possible. Study something, learn something fantastic. Maybe go working abroad is as well with Saturn in the ninth house, or working through some legal papers for relocation, the ninth house, for faraway countries, so green cards, visas. You might have to put some extra efforts there, but of course Saturn can delay but manifest eventually in a very, it can make you do the hard work that you didn't want to do till then. Say maybe you've been living in a country but you haven't applied for citizenship. Now you can try to do those papers, documents, and so on as well, because that's another meaning of the ninth house. Or you want to make your business more legal. That's good time, Saturn in the ninth house. You want to make it more aligned to the laws, to the rules in some way. That's another way it can play out. So, and of course, the most important is ninth house is one of the self houses. It's one of you, so it's about learning, growing, striving towards more virtuousness and morality. That was the time when I stopped lying. And I said, God, I will stop ever lying, even white lies. Maybe I do it occasionally now, but every time I catch myself, I immediately try to stop it. And my life turned around, because you decide to walk on a moral path when Saturn is in the ninth house. Choose some virtue, work on it, and it unlocks your luck on another level. And also when you change your belief systems and you change your actions morally, your whole fate changes, because the ninth house is the house of fate. Whether you have lucky fate or unlucky fate is due to how moral you are in the past and how moral you decide to be from now on, and what your beliefs are. So this Saturn wants to transform and structure and make more elegant your belief systems, and to make you more upgraded human being, morally and spiritually. They're in the ninth house. And once you do this, that's when actually the cornucopia of abundance and luck opened in my life. From the moment Saturn entered my ninth house, it was hard, because I had to resolve to not to do morally wrong stuff, to leave everything that's morally wrong behind me, to commit to studying and learning more as well. But my belief systems and my principles, because ninth house rules spiritual principles, spiritual values that you have, not only spiritual, but they really became more traditional, more realistic. My belief system changed, and that's when you can really change your luck overall in life, by doing the right things morally and working on yourself. So thank you. And if you want to find out more, check out Leo, my webinar on Saturn in Aries, which is just $12 and covers absolutely all possible transits.